Hello Internet, it's Jolie from This On Me, and this round's theme is life-changing experiences. So I think I'm just gonna jump right in. I think my big life-changing moment is still, hospitals. And a lot of life-changing experiences happen in hospitals, and sadly not all of them are good, but mine was definitely an all's well that ends well sort of situation, where it was sad for a long time, and then it ended up working out for the best. When I was 5 or 6, my dad was diagnosed with cancer. He was hospitalized for a few months for treatment, and so we spent a lot of time there visiting him. The problem with hospitals, though, is when you're there, there's not much to do but sit around and worry. And sitting around and worrying is not something a 6-year-old is particularly good at, especially, 6-year-old me. So I ended up becoming really, really interested in everything about the hospital and how it worked. My mom said that every time a doctor walked in, I would just overwhelm them with questions like, what's this machine do, or what does this medicine do, or what symptoms are you looking for? In retrospect, I'm really, really impressed that a doctor was able to explain all of that in terms that 6-year-old me would understand. One time, I even snuck off of the ward to visit other wards, and it was an adventure. I ended up getting, really, really lost, and my mom got really mad at me, but it was still really cool. Even after my dad went into remission and was released from the hospital, my fascination stuck around. For about a year after my introduction to the wonderful world of modern medicine, I was obsessed with playing doctor. So it's not really a surprise I ended up in med school, although at the time I also wanted to be a pirate, and then an astronaut, and then for a while I was dead set on becoming an archaeologist. Pun completely intended. So it really wasn't like this quick road between that experience and medicine, but I really think the ultimate deciding factor was that I wanted to go into a major where I could help people. That probably sounds really cliche, but it also ended up being, similar to the reasons I'm involved in political activism the way I am. Speaking of political activism, my decision to study medicine was actually exactly what led me to meet Combeferre. I met Zero on one of those websites that lets, undergraduate students talk to grad students, about medical programs and without having to go to actually, visit the school. So, we chatted for a while, and we found out that we had a lot in common. And then there was a pun more involved, so then we decided to, not clog up the chat for the grad students anymore, and then switch to Skype. And then we talked a lot more, because we could talk one-on-one. And then Z introduced me to Les Amis de l'ABC, and the rest is, as they say, history. I try really hard to integrate my studies with my Les Amis political activism as much as I can. Although it can be kind of difficult to balance all the timetables because there's a lot going on in both. My belief that people should have the ability to access healthcare with ease, comfort, and safety is a huge part of how I interact with patients, and also makes me a bit of a favorite with the ethics tutors. It also influences the way that I advocate for patients with disabilities or illnesses or other things. Not only for patients, but for people like me, who struggle with things like mental health, anxiety, hypochondria, etc. So I guess you could say those many trips to the hospital really changed the way I thought. It inspired me to want to help people, and that's something that's never left me. I remember how happy I was hearing my dad was okay and knowing he was going to be okay. And I wanted to be able to give that feeling to other people, to know that I could help someone directly, that I could be there and support someone like this. And that has never really changed in me. That is still something that's a huge part of who I am. And that's why it was my big, life-changing experience. Thank you for watching! You can find more videos about life-changing experience in the links below, and be sure to like, subscribe, send us a comment, let us know how you think, let us know what you feel about us. We'd love to hear from you. Really. I just hit myself in the face with the board. Bye.